Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is SCV Rush from the UEN.com giving you guys an epic game today. I'm going to be casting TLO versus Nada. Very interesting players, very creative players by both sides. Nada is obviously the Starcraft 1 player that has been super famous in the 2004-2002 era. He is also known as the Terran Genius, he has won so many Starleague championships, earning him the most accomplished Starcraft player of all times. TLO does not need any introduction for Starcraft 2, obviously, since he has been in the pro scene ever since Starcraft 2 has started, and he has been doing some amazing creative strategies as all three races. But he recently switched to Terran because that's the race he likes. I'm not sure what he's doing here. Maybe he's spending too much of his APM doing unproductive things. Anyway, as you guys know, StarCraft 1 and StarCraft 2 does have discrepancies. The most important one is that the mechanics change makes StarCraft 2 a little easier to play, requires a little less APM, similar to Warcraft. So we're gonna see the macro StarCraft 1 macro master Nada versus the creative TLO, who's gonna be, probably gonna do some crazy thing we've never seen before. And TLO does decide to scout pretty early, even though Nada decides to not scout at all in this case, since a big map usually means some kind of more of a macro style play anyway, so scouting early is not that important. So putting down the second barracks after the orbit command, getting the standard gas for both. Actually, TLO is not getting the standard gas. He's probably actually going for more of a macro play, actually. Most likely putting a command center very soon here. And Nada decides to scout him. A very good timing, actually, to be honest, because if he's going for a rush, he'll see it. If he doesn't go for a rush like an expansion, he will also see it. But I'm not sure if he actually sees. He probably only sees this. He only sees this barracks. He probably could have controlled his SCV a little better and scout. If he scouts these two Vaspine Geyser or the command center, then he will be able to tell whether TLO is going for an expansion or going for a rush style play. And the Marine is going for some scouting or probably break this rock. Getting a reactor. I'm gonna turn on the unit tab here so you guys can see exactly what everyone's doing. Alright, and gonna be shooting down the destructible rock, mainly because I think Nada wants to go for more of an aggressive style, but he does not want the enemy to scout him, so he wants to break these rocks. It's also very sneaky. If you catch the opponent off guard from just straight up going into a base like this, even though he has the xelnaga tower captured, that immediately could spell good game for the opponent immediately. And Nada does scout TLO and does find out that he has this expansion. Immediately TLO knows that and puts down a bunker right away, showing Nada, hey, I'm prepared and I'm gonna be able to put my expansion up and be able to defend a push right away. And he stopped attacking these rocks because he might be afraid that, because he does not have any scout here, he's afraid that Nada's gonna attack him very shortly, so he stopped attacking the destructible rocks, upgrading that over to command. And as soon as that bunker finishes, go back to attack the destructible rock. Let's see what Nada is doing. Pretty standard stuff. He's going for more marauder heavy or marine heavy build. Just finished that destructible rock over there. Marauder does a pretty decent amount of damage to these destructible rocks. However, marine only does 3 damage because destructible rock actually have 3 armor. Quite a lot for a piece of rock. Okay, and then he's gonna be pushing in on TLO, and TLO does not see this coming. I don't think he sees this. Yep, he still sees these 2 rocks. So, and it looks like he might be going in very soon here. We're gonna see a good fight here, and TLO is breaking the destructible rock, so this is not good for TLO. And stim pack goes up, and these Marauders does so much damage to the bunker. Took down immediately before, and TLO is forced to bring some of these SCVs to help him. But I think Nada knows that he can't really Nada knows that he can't really stop a force this big. He cannot push in with a force this big and that many SCVs. So I think Nada's gonna be retreating, even though TLO is still being very passive, very defensive, pulling some of his SCV off the line just for defense. SCV is a really good meat shield for the Terrans if you guys haven't been using them, because Marauder only does 10 damage instead of 20, and it just adds the extra padding to kind of give you an edge in a battle of a TvT. I'm surprised he has not broken down Destructible Rock, and TLO is actually just massing 5 racks worth of Marines, which is unorthodox. Most people try to get some kind of balanced army, like some Marauders, some Marines, techs for medevac, you know, the MMM or 111, some kind of diversity. In this case, TLO just goes for mass Marines because he can, and he defended his base just like that. And you can see that Nada did decide to put down his expansion, I think right when he attacked, which is great timing for an expansion, because by the time you're finishing attacking, even if your attack does not succeed, you will gain an economic advantage from mining these gold minerals. And I highly doubt that TLO sees this. No, he does not see this. So at this point, you can see that actually TLO is ahead in SCV count by 3, but this expansion is working. And if you see the income, you can see that Nada does have a significantly higher income by the minute here. And we can see if there's another battle here, and it does look like TLO is going to have the advantage for massing Marines, which is rare because Marauders don't do that well against Marines. 10 damage instead of 6, and it costs double the amount, is not worth it. And because you can get that upgrade on that life, which makes the Marines so much more durable, it's really hard for Nada massing Marauders to stop an all-out Marine rush like this. Or not exactly a Marine push, I guess. And it looks like here we have another battle. Stim pack goes off really fast, and it looks like, oh, it's gonna be a close fight here. And he's pulling some of these SCVs a little late, but yes, the Marauder does fall, and I think Nada's in a lot of trouble here. I personally feel like the stim pack in Starcraft 2 is not as strong as the stim pack in Starcraft 1, because you don't get that, not because stim pack is not as powerful, it's simply because you don't get that medic very early. If you don't get the medic early, you lose a significant amount of life in exchange for damage, and that's not exactly worth it in a lot of situations, especially if you don't have if the opponent outnumbers you, just like the fight just happening right now. And it looks like both players are macroing up pretty well. But TLO did lose quite a few SCVs, not here. I think he lost a couple SCVs here, and he's not macroing as well as his opponent TLO. Let's see. Okay, yeah, you can see that 38 harvester count to 27. But even because he also has a mule, and also he's also running on 1 gas because he's just using only his gas only on mass reactor units, which is Marines. But Marine is very good. It does do 6 DPS for a 50 mineral unit. Very effective. The only downside is that they're very fragile for how much it costs. And I think he just scanned his base, but knowing that he has so many Marines, I don't think he's gonna have enough force to stop this. Let's see what he's gonna do here. And he's just gonna, ooh, TLO makes a mistake here, stimming. Maybe he is going for a push. He does have 2 medvac. That's quite an amount. That's quite important in a all-out Marine fight here. Both players don't have any upgrades. The fights are pretty close. Oh, and he stims again. Yeah, I think Nada's just trying to draw out TLO by stimming his Marines and wasting the energy on these medvacs. You can see that the medvac is actually running out of energy already. Actually, both medvacs are running out. But he does have a tank. Does he have the siege tank research upgraded? No, he doesn't. So let's see what will happen here. He stim packs, and he's about to take down this factory, and it looks like a big battle is coming up, and it doesn't look like Nada has this position. Look, some of the Marines are not shooting in the back, and the concave on TLO is just a little better, and he's able to defeat these Marines without a problem. So I feel like that might be a poor play by Nada by attacking out of position here, not being able to do much. And right now, I was gonna say Team Liquid. Liquid TL has an astounding advantage in macroeconomics here, with leading our SCV counts, leading army count, the army production. Let's look at the army count, 95 to 66. Yeah, so you can see that TLO knows this, and he's making a push with 3 tanks and a mass load of marines and 2 mevacs, and a factory's flying by. I don't think anyone's gonna care. I don't even think Nada cares if he loses factory. And yeah, this fight is not gonna be that close with that many tanks. You know, you can see that the Leaf Frost strategy is already happening, just sieging his tanks one by one, and the battle is gonna happen. And the moment the siege tank is gonna do so much damage to these marines that Nada's forced to retreat, losing quite a lot of marines here. And really, at this point, I think Nada's in a lot of trouble. I think Nada might be in a pinch here, and he needs to pull something out of the hat here, some kind of macro master play to actually overcome something like this. And this is not good with that siege tank just bombarding on these marines. And I'm gonna go back to faster speed here, and you can see this perfect position by TLO, putting his tanks not here, not where Marauders could shoot them, but perfect position where he could shoot the other side of the river, or I guess lake, as you can say it. I don't know what it's called. And not able to let the Marauder hit them, and Stimpack goes off. But I think this is gonna be a good game, and Nada kills. Good game, guys. That was a pretty good game, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the game as much as I enjoyed casting. If you like to see more epic games like this, go to our website, theuyen.com, or subscribe to our YouTube channel, the UEN TV. Thanks for listening. This is SC Brush signing off.